we have studied about the first two decisions, that is investment decision and financing decision. The next decision that we have to study is about the dividend decision. Okay, so as it is as the other decisions which we have studied, this is also a very much important decision. It refers to the determination of how much part of the earning should be distributed among the shareholders by the way of a dividend and how much should be retained for meeting future needs as a retained earning. So dividend decision means that see, like if a company is making a profit and if a company is having, imagine like a 20 lakh rupees profit is there. So it is all 20 lakh rupees is not given as dividend. Okay, so the part of the profit they will be distributing among the shareholders, that is called as the dividend. You know. So this dividend is a full amount of profit they may not be distributing among the shareholders. So they will keep some money, some part of the profit as a retained earnings, because this is one of the most inexpensive way of increasing the capital, or that is basically like if that retained earning, if a company is having 2 crore rupees capital is there and 20 lakh rupees earnings are there, profit is there. So if they are not distributing this one, what happens? Directly their capital increases to 2 crore 20 lakh rupees. There is no any other expenditure for that. Do you understand? But fully adding to the capital is not possible, means shareholders are not going to be happy about that. So they have to make a proper balance between the this one. So how much amount of retained earnings has to be maintained and how much money has to be distributed as the dividend. Okay. So this is the another decision that we have to, that the financial managers have to take. Generally, the shareholders want that they should get the maximum dividend, and the managers want that the maximum amount of money should be kept to fulfill the future needs of a business. However, the financial manager has to strike a balance so that both the parties remain satisfied. This decision is also called the disposal of a surplus decision. So, disposal of surplus. Surplus means a profit. Okay. So, the shareholders, if I am investing money and I am getting profit, so I am interested to get the full money as a profit. You know, I should get the full amount of shares. So like mostly, you know, the shareholders are there. They are investing money for a limited period. You know, so there are only few shareholders who are holding the share for many years. Others are there. They are just purchase the share, and their purpose is to make profit by selling the shares. You know. So if they get a higher amount of dividend, then the market value of the shares will go up and they can sell it for a higher price. So such a way they will be getting more profit. So shareholders are interested to have a higher rate of returns, higher rate of dividends. But the managers, they know that it is very difficult to gain capital, and if they keep the money as the retained earnings, that will be beneficial. So there is a fight between the managers and the shareholders, or they will be, both of them will be having a confusion regarding that. So this is the duty of the financial manager to make the decision how much amount of profit has to be distributed as the dividend and how much has to be kept as a retained earnings. So there are also some factors affecting the dividend decision. The chief factors affecting dividend decisions are as follows. The first one, earnings. The dividend is paid out of the present and reserved profits. Therefore, greater amount of total profit will ensure greater dividend. So if the company, the most important thing of a company is about the how much amount of profit the company is making. Okay, earning, how much amount of earnings are there. If a company is 20 crore rupees, if they are investing, and if they get 50 lakh rupees as profit, then sufficient amount of profit will be there. So the company will be able to distribute at least some money as this dividend. Okay, but if the company is not having sufficient amount of profit, okay, after deducting all the expenditure, if only very few amount of money is there, then they will not be in a position to give a dividend. Okay, so that is the first thing of that one. And another one is the stability of earning. A company having stable earnings is in a position to declare more dividends, and vice versa. The stability of earning. So every year, if a company is making 20 lakh rupees profit, so this year company made 20 lakh rupees profit, next year also 20 lakh rupees, or 20, 22, 25, like that. and all the years it is there, almost some 20 to 30 lakh rupees as an average. If a company is making profit, it means that the company next year also company can expect the same amount of profit. So such kind of a company can give higher rate of dividends. But if a company is not having consistency in the earning, like 1 year they earned only 2 lakh rupees, next year they got 30 lakh rupees, another year they are in a loss. So such type of a company, when there is a earning stability is not there. So such a company is not, it is not good for that company to distribute more amount of money as the this one. Because what happens? See, like if 1 year they have collected 30 lakh rupees, in that they only distribute 10 lakh and the remaining 20 lakh they are keeping as retained earning, and in the next year if the company goes in loss, then the money which is retained can be used for facing the loss. Isn't it? So in such a situation they will be able to make use of that money. So that is why for that company, such kind of a company where there is stability is not there, so for such company distributing of a high amount of dividend is not advisable. But if a company is properly every year their company is growing and every year proper consistent amount of profit is made, then they can distribute more amount of money as dividends. Then stability of dividends. Every company adopts the policy of maintaining the stability of dividends per share. Here the stability of dividend means that the dividend will in no case be allowed to fall. It is always good if the dividend remains stable or increases. From this point of view, a little change in profit should be allowed, any increase or decrease in the dividend. So there are some companies will be keeping a policy that they will keep a stable dividend. Okay, so like if you are investing like 100 rupees, one share if you are purchasing 5 rupees, dividend will be provided every year they are getting. Okay, so either 5 or more than 5 rupees every year they are providing. So in such a situation, like if the company wants to distribute 5 rupees per share, then if the company wants to have 5 lakh rupees as a profit, maybe. So when they are distributing, that much money is required for but at some situation the company is not having that much means, like if company is having 10 lakh rupees profit is there, in that 5 lakh rupees they will distribute and 5 rupees per share they are giving this one. And if next year if the company is having only 8 lakh rupees of profit, then also company will try to maintain this one, at least 5 they will give, in order to give an impression that the company is giving a stable dividend. Okay, so the retained earnings in that year will be less. And if another year, if the company is making 15 lakh rupees profit, then in that also only 5 they will be distributing, remaining 10 they will keep as retained earning. Okay, so such a way the company will maintain a stable dividend. The next one, growth opportunities. If the company has more opportunities for growth, it will require more finance. In such a situation, a major part of the income should be retained and a small part of it should be paid as a dividend. So if the company is in such a situation that there is a growth amount of, there is a large amount of growth opportunities, there is a chance of growth is there. So in such a situation, the company should not distribute all the profit amount, because if for the growth, the company needs to invest more money. So if if company gained a nice good profit they have received, but full profit they have distributed among the shareholders, and if at the time of need, or if they have to increase the increase the amount of their, or expand the building or expand the business, and if at that time again they have to issue new shares or they have to ask for bank loan, so then this will be very much difficult. But if when they are getting the profit, some part of that if they have stored as their retained earnings, then that money can be utilized for the purpose of the expansion or growth purposes. Do you understand? So additional expenditure will not be there for the company, and by spending this money in the company, next year the company can make even more profit. Then the next one is about the cash flow position. The payment of a dividend results in outflow of cash. It is possible that the company may have enough income, but it is equally possible that it may not have sufficient cash to pay dividend. In this way, cash flow position of the company is a factor that determines the dividend decision. The better cash flow position of the company, the better will be the capacity of the company to pay dividend. So cash flow position of a company, how much the money the company is having or how much the company can pay money. Like cash is required for paying the dividend. So, like if 20 lakh rupees, if the company wants to give us a dividend, that 20 lakh rupees cash should be there. So as we have studied, we know like if the company is making more credit sales, okay. So we have made sales and 20 lakh rupees profit is there, but that 20 lakh rupees might not have been received by the company. Okay, company have given credit to different customers. So they are supposed to give the money. When they give money only, they will get the money. But as 20 lakh rupees profit is there, but as that people have not paid the money. Do you understand? So if such a situation is there, at the time if they are deciding to give the money to the dividend, then they don't have money to pay. Do you understand? So if the company is in a good cash flow position, then company can give more amount of dividend. And if the position of the company is not good, then the dividend will be paid less. Then next one is about the shareholders preference. There are two types of shareholders from the point of view of investment. Those who invest with the purpose of getting some regular income and those who invest in the company to gain capital profit. If the majority of the shareholders are in the former type, the company must declare dividend according to their expectation. On the contrary, if the majority of the shareholders are of the later type, the company enjoys freedom about declaring dividend. So see, like there are two types of shareholders are there. Some shareholders are there, they are investing some money and every year they want to get dividend and a regular income is expected. So such type of people are there. And some other people are there, they want to invest the money and after many years, just like you are depositing money into maybe like life insurance or mutual funds and so on. Such a way some people are investing money. They don't want money now, but after 4 or 5 years or after 10 years or after 20 years, they want to have a big profit. Okay. So such type of shareholders are there. Majority of the shareholders are of the this type of shareholders are there. Then a company no need to give much dividend. Means per unit they don't want to have money at that time. Okay. So if they retain earnings, if they keep the money, but and with that money they make company make more profit. Next year their company will be able to make more profit, and still the share value will go up. So such a way this will be there. So if the money is not added, see for example, if 100 rupees is the value of like 100 rupees shares I have purchased and 5 rupees dividend if I am supposed to get, it's like 5 lakh rupees company and the profit. Okay. So if this money is supposed to be like 5 rupees dividend I have to receive, and if I don't receive this dividend, what will be there? My share value will be increased. Okay. The retained earnings will be kept by the company, and that retained earnings are shown in the this one, and the share value of this their company value share value will be high, like 105 rupees. Is it no? Per unit share, their share value will be increased. If I don't collect the money, you understand? So such a way, if the company is keep on making high profit, and with the 105 rupees, next year the company will work. That means total there will be crores of rupees will be there, but per unit share I am telling. So that 5 rupees also will be invested by the company, and their company will make again more profit. Okay. So next year the company made 7 profit, that is also added, then the total amount will become 112. And this for 12 rupees, again the company will be investing. And next year they will be making 20 rupees. So the value will be 120. So such a way, after many years, even like 100 rupees invested, but after 5 years or 10 years when they get they will be getting instead of 100, they will be getting some 600. Okay. So such a way the share values, as I told you, there are so many shares are there, their values are there. The par or the base value of the shares are 100 rupees, but they are sold for 800 rupees, 900 rupees, 1000 rupees and all. So such a way the company is growing, or the demand of the shares are very much high. So then the price of the shares will be going so much up. Okay. So after, see, like if I purchase the share for 100 rupees and now 5 rupees profit I will get, but I am not selling the share. Is it no? So I will keep the share, and 5 years, 10 years, 20 years afterwards there will be huge money will be there. So at that time if we sell, then we will get a huge profit. So such a way, or when the company is closing, at that time they will be able to gain a huge amount of profit. So they will get a major return. So such type of policies are also there. So different shareholders will have different opinions, and depending on that they will be making the decision. The next one is about a taxation policy. The dividend decision to some extent depends on the tax policy. If the tax rate of dividend is higher, it would be better to declare less dividend and vice versa. Nowadays, in the hands of the shareholders, the dividend income is tax free. From this angle, shareholders like to get a higher dividend. Okay. So if the taxation policy, the government will be time and again they will be changing the taxation policy. They will have different type of taxes will be there. Tax policy will be varying. So sometimes if for the dividend money is actually tax free, means already the tax deducted at source. You know, TDS is already there. So if a company is distributing the tax, already the tax amount has been paid by the company, and the remaining money only will be paid as the dividend. So that is a tax free amount. So company shareholders are interested to get such an amount of money. So means like income tax, and if the person is there, and if they get dividend, and for that dividend they need not to pay income tax because already the tax is deducted. Do you understand? So depending on the tax policy of the government, they will be providing higher or a lower rate of dividend will be given. The next one is a stock market reaction. As we have already studied, this one bullish and bearish market is there. Like dividend and market value of the shares are directly related. It means that if a dividend is declared at a higher rate, it is considered to be a good news. As a result, the price of the shares increases. Similarly, decrease in the dividend decreases the market value of the shares. Therefore, a finance manager should always keep in mind the effect on the market price of shares while determining the rate of dividend. Every company wishes that the market value of its shares should not fall. Okay. So if we are having a company as I told you, if we purchase a share and we always expect that I want to get some benefit from the shares, you know, thinking like that only we are investing money into the share market. So if we are not getting any profit from the shares, then there is no benefit in investing that share. You know. So if a company is not providing, the company made profit, but a company is not distributing dividends, then for shareholder any benefit is not there. You know, means future benefit will be there. At present there is no benefit. So what happens is that if the company is giving less amount of dividend, then the demand for that shares will be going down. So the market value of the shares will be going down. But if a company is giving like 100 rupees you invested last year, this year they are providing 20 rupees dividend, means that a very nice, you know, in 1 year itself you are getting 20 rupees per 100 rupees shares. So then that share is very much nice. So the company is growing successfully and giving very much money. So every people will be interested to purchase that share. So then what happens? The market value, the demand is very much high. So the market value of the shares will go up. If 20 rupees dividend is provided, then maybe product will be sold for 200 rupees. So it means that share will be sold for 200 rupees. Very high price will be. So such a way, if 5 rupees only they are providing, then even 100 rupees people may not be ready to purchase. Okay, so the value of that share may be even going down. So at least some increase. So increase and decrease in the shares will be depending on the market value of the share. So if all the companies wants to have a proper market value, or the market value of the shares has to be increased. So they will be keeping this one in mind and deciding the amount of dividend to be given. Then next one, access to capital market. In case of need, if a company can easily collect finance in the capital market, it should declare dividend at a higher rate, otherwise not. So the ability of the company to raise additional capital. If the company is in a position that the company will be able to make more additional capital can be easily gained, then they can distribute more amount of money as a dividend. Okay, because even if they have distributed the money as a dividend, but when they are in need of money, they can suddenly or easily if they can bring up the money, increase the capital, then they will be able to give more amount of dividend. But if a company is in a position that they will not be able to make additional capital, then it is better that the company keep at least some money as a reserve. So more reserve is kept and less amount of dividend will be provided. One minute. Time is there so much. Okay. So the next one is legal constraints. The dividend policy of a company should always remain conformed with the limits provided by law. According to the legal provisions, a company cannot make payment of a dividend out of a paid up share capital because it will reduce the capital, which will adversely affect the security of the debt providers. See, like if a company is making profit, so there are some legal formalities are there where they have to follow. So they even this is like if company's value is 100 rupees, like 100 rupees share is there, and if the company did not make any profit, and if the company wants to issue shares, means the dividend, then from this 100 rupees they have to pay. You know, so if they pay 5 rupees dividend, then the paid up capital will be going down. You know, so this will be it's like this 100. This paid up capital is kept as the security for the debts. Like bank loan is there or anything is there. In that they are kept as a security. Like 100 rupees, this much amount of capital is there for the company, and that is why they are giving the loans. So if out of this money they are giving dividend, then that the security value will be going down. So such type of things it is not permitted. It is illegal. So legally there is no permission to do such type of activity. So if as per the rule, if there is profit only, equity shares dividend will be provided. If there is no profit, like you might have studied earlier, there was a company called Satyam company. So a computer-based company was there. So this company was there company was in a very crucial financial position. The company was in loss. But they were showing in order to maintain the market value, the shares, they were showing false balance sheet and all. And there was, with the support of some chartered accountants and all, they were able to show some wrong balance sheet, and they were showing that we made this much amount of profit. Actually, company is in loss, but they are showing in the outside, they are showing that this much amount of profit we have made, and they are distributing shares, this dividend. But later on, the company was caught up, and they declared that the company is not in a good position. The company is already in loss, and the chartered accountant who was concerned with this one and all was caught up. Okay, so such a way, and the company value, the value of that company went down so much low. Like at that time, around 600 rupees value was there for the share, and it went down to 32 rupees. Okay, so in 1 week time, the value of the share. So for those, you can just think about the people those who have purchased the shares. So actually, base value was 100. So the company was running successfully. So they were giving an impression that the company is running successfully. So that's why the shares were sold for 600 rupees. But actually, when they came to know that this one, the company is sold, after that the company class has to be closed. So then nobody is interested to purchase such shares, then demand will go down. The next one is contractual constraints. When a company receives finance in the form of debt, the debt providers can put a ban on the company to give any dividend. So another one more, this one is there. Like this bank and all, or the debt providers are there. So they will be making a condition that you should not provide any dividend. So we will be providing you loan, but you situate that the dividend you are not permitted. See, like how much amount of extra profit is made by the company, that money has to be paid as the paid back to the bank, and they will not be permitting the company to pay the this one dividend. Do you understand? So such restrictions will be made. So in such cases also, the company will not be able to pay a dividend. Okay. So that's about the dividend decision.